Now this thing, as a lot of you guys know, has that Apple A11 Bionic chip, hex-core CPU, and 3 gigabytes of RAM on each of the 2 models that this thing was supported with. And like I stated, early on this year, the mid-review of this year, and even this later part of 2020 review, I still think the performance is still one of its biggest assets. I think the camera, the build quality, and the performance is probably one of my favorite things about this device. Now, one thing I love about Apple is that all their devices, they may not be the fastest phones ever, they may not be, the craziest speed devices where you can play a ton of things and have the crazy amount of RAM or whatever, but their devices are some of the smoothest device. I think they are the smoothest phones ever. If you look at a phone like an iPhone 8 Plus, I am getting a smoother experience from this device than I am getting on like a Pixel 4 or that I'm getting on a Galaxy S20 or whatever. I have such glitchy experiences on basically all my Android devices, and I hate saying that because I don't want to generalize a group of devices, but I don't know what it is with that software. I just have a glitchy experience across the board. Now the 120 Hz really does help, but I still think that iPhone 8 Plus, even though it's over a 3-year-old device, it held up extremely well in the smoothness factor. Now when I compare an iPhone 8 Plus to an iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 is the faster device. I think sometimes it was a little bit slower, surprisingly. I don't know why, but I think for a majority of the tasks out there, like an iPhone 8 Plus will definitely get you from point A to point B. I don't think there's going to be too many issues with it, and I think if you're in the market of getting a device, performance-wise on here, you're going to be fine. If you're doing Zoom calls, if you're doing, paperwork or whatever, if you're playing games, if you're doing whatever you need on a device, you're going to be okay with an iPhone 8 Plus, and like I stated, it's one of its biggest assets. It's definitely not the fastest device. Galaxy S20, iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 12's coming out. Those are going to be the faster devices, but I still think the iPhone 8 Plus is perfectly fine for a majority of people in a performance standpoint. So that really pretty much covers it up in terms of the performance. Now ending it off.